Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to our Monday Namaste session. Mondays are always a very auspicious day. We begin a week, we start fresh, we do the great work we've been given to do, whatever that may be, whatever that may look like. I'm looking at the back, and the daily word today is forgive. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the great work. We talk about that a lot here, don't we? To forgive one another, releasing the past. I learn and grow by forgiving. Releasing the past and the future. Being here, being right now. So that's the work that we are going to engage in this week. And I had an interesting thought this morning as I was just meditating and thinking about our session. And the thought was, and this does, I think, play into forgiveness quite well, people are really interesting. People are very odd when you think about it. We do and believe such strange things sometimes, or don't believe. So often we see only that which we want to see. And even if we are presented with powerful evidence that does not support what we want to believe, still the idea of letting go of that or admitting that we were wrong about something is harder for the perceptual mind, for the split mind. It's harder than simply admitting I don't know. And yet, all we really talk about here is living in the I don't know. The freedom of that, the purity of that, asking to be shown, to be guided. I was watching a CNN report a few days ago about one of the reporters went to this rally that happened in Washington, D.C. a few days ago, and he was talking to a young man who claimed that the people that were at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, they were just tourists walking around. They weren't trespassing at all. There was no violence. And the reporter said, well, what about all of the Capitol police who were either injured or killed? And he said, show me video of that. So he did. He showed him video on his phone of several of these policemen being almost suffocated and killed. But once again, his inability to admit, maybe I was wrong, maybe I need to see something new here, said, there's nothing wrong with him. He's faking it. This is fake news. What you're showing me didn't really happen. And I thought when I saw that, this is the biggest defense of the ego thought system, is to simply deny. Even when we are given profound, compelling evidence that I would be better served by living in the I don't know. We talk a lot here about those three simple phrases that can get us out of any argument. I don't know. Maybe. I love you. I've been using that a lot lately, and on Wednesday I'm going to be going back to Minnesota to be with my family. I have a feeling I'll be using it a lot more there. But people are funny, the way that we hold on to and grasp hold of our ideas, our concepts, thinking that our ideas and our concepts define us, when the whole teaching is that your concepts do not define you. I am not the ideas that I hold in my mind. I am that. So there was a documentary some time ago that I think showed this beautifully. I often think if I was an old Indian man with a long white beard sitting up here saying the things that I say, rather than a young-ish Western guy saying the same thing, I wonder how it would be received. especially lately, because as you know, lately we've gone to a very uncompromising place where we're hitting the truth as powerfully as we can. We're not allowing any deference from that single point of light. And I often think, well, how often are we going to give someone who looks like they are playing that role, like an old Indian man with a long white beard, how much more attention are we going to give to that person? How much more are we going to believe the message, even if it's coming from a concept in my mind of what a spiritually enlightened teacher is supposed to be? Okay? Well, I want to show you something really quick just to demonstrate this, and it's a trailer from a documentary that perhaps you've seen. I saw it several years ago, and I loved it so much. And it's about a young Indian guy from New Jersey who decided to check this out for himself. I won't say anything else just in case you haven't seen it, but let me just go ahead and show you this trailer.
So many of us look to the wisdom of the East to solve our problems in the West. Growing up in America, I too had a lot of questions. And I met a lot of religious leaders who claimed to have the answers. But were these gurus real or just full of it? To find out, I decided to impersonate a spiritual leader and build my own following. That's how I became Kumare. Hello! If you act like a guru, then you can become a guru, no? Then you come like this.
I have a guru. It's really wild.
Begin to feel the new life.
I feel myself getting warmer than normal. I'm sure that's your energy.
I have always wanted to connect with a true authentic person from India.
I have intense feelings about the whole planet.
The purity, the honesty, there's nothing phony about it. You don't know if I am good, I am bad. You don't know that.
I just can't believe that you would come and spend this much time with individuals.
Just what you're doing right here, by coming here and helping others, the most important thing you can do.
I will tell my kids, my grandkids, about this wonderful person that came into my life and changed me.
I am the biggest faker that I know. I fake so much, I forget who I was before.
I am the biggest faker I know. He says it right there to him, over and over in the documentary. And yet our need to put the authority outside ourselves, or for someone to play a role that we have decided in our mind is closer to that idea of what an enlightened being is supposed to be, is amazing. And the interesting thing about the people in that movie that Kumari met is that they were transforming. They were awakening because they believed. Before Jesus would ever heal anyone, he would always ask the question, do you want to be healed? Do you believe in this? So their belief alone that this could happen, that's what was required, not the Indian guru that they gave their power to. And once again, he would tell them over and over, I'm the biggest faker I know. He was telling them the truth the whole time. And when, at the very end of this film, in case you haven't seen it, he outs himself. He shaves off his beard, shows up one day and starts speaking in his New Jersey accent. About half of them get it. And they start laughing and realize, wow, this is the greatest teaching ever. The other half, the opposite. They storm out. They were taken, they were had by this guy. Well, we're being taken and had just about every moment that we focus on the appearance of something rather than the essence. As I said before, I sometimes wonder how it would be received if I was, instead of this youngish Western guy from Portland, Oregon, if I was an old Indian man with a long white beard. Would it be different in your mind? Would you accept it in a different way? Or does it make no difference? I promise you it doesn't. How could it? This is not about appearance. This is not about even the person. There's no teacher or teaching that is going to set you free. It's only your decision to be free. So I say this as I am thinking about these lessons that I've been, these lessons that we've been sharing lately, very uncompromising lessons. And we're going to share another one today, but I wanted to set it up in that way. To say, don't pay attention to me. Don't pay attention to Kamari. Don't wonder how this message may be received if it was given through another vehicle, vessel, teacher, person. See if you can take the essence of this on your own, uncompromisingly. Because if you can, if you do, the heat of the message itself will burn away all of those needs for it to look a certain way, to sound a certain way. I'm going to believe it if. No, just believe. Just forgive. So this is a little section that I wrote up, I think 2 days ago, thinking I would share it here today. So let me go ahead and I'll put it up on the screen. And we'll read this together. Once again, we start with the statement, see if you can hear this without compromising it in any way. So listen very deeply. Your being is beingness itself. Your being is beingness itself. If I could do a good Indian accent, I would do it right there. Because that sounds like something an Indian guru would say, isn't it? Your being is beingness itself. In other words, there is no difference between God's beingness and yours. Now hear this. Any compromise of this always appears as sickness, discomfort, and even death. Any compromise where you try to think, yes, but God is God and I am this vulnerable being. Any compromise of the truth that your beingness is the exact same as the beingness of God is what will bring about your sickness, pain, and death. But since the truth of you, or the beingness that I'm describing, cannot die, you are completely safe and protected from such strange ideas. That's the strange dichotomy. You're wholly protected. You have that idea in your mind that you can suffer sickness, pain, and death, but the truth of you, the beingness that is one with God, cannot. It's impossible. Okay, if this is true, and I promise you that it is, then you find yourself in an impossible situation. Your attempts to compromise the truth of your beingness seems to have separated you from you. And you'll notice that the second you is a capitalized Y. The truth of you, who you really are. You who are one with God. You who are one with all reality. It seems to have separated you from you. It seems to have separated you from reality itself, but reality is not real without you. Reality is not real without you. What is real is forever real. And what is not real does not exist. You already know this, but now it's time to claim what you've always known. To claim it. Not just believe it, but know it. I've said these words over and over and will likely say them 1,000 times again. When you are as uncompromising with this teaching as God is with you, the truth will appear on its own. The truth requires no effort because it is true. I love that statement. The truth requires no effort because it's true. This is all you need to know. It's the only thing you need to recognize. The truth has always recognized you, but until now, you have refused to recognize it. Wow. The truth has always recognized who you are, the truth of you, the reality of you that cannot change. But now, until now, you've refused to recognize the truth that is in you. Well, I have a feeling that time is over. I don't think you'd be here if it wasn't. So, open your eyes and see what is so clear to the I am presence within you. Identify only with that. Accept no compromise in this. If someone says something to you that seems to be a compromise of the truth, don't confront them or try to change them. Just turn your mind back to the I am presence. If someone tells you that you're insane because you believe these things, don't try to change their mind. Just keep your focus on the truth, since the truth is always focused on you. Keep your mind focused on the truth because the truth is always focused on you. So remember those words. The truth is always focused on you, and the instant you put all of your focus on the truth, illusions disappear. On Saturday, I did a talk for the Integrated Awakening Conference, and it was on the spirituality of Sri Nisargadatta, who I didn't even really know about until a few weeks ago. But the more I read his work or heard his teaching, the more I felt that fire burning hotter within me, because the truth is true. And I am that truth. And it's the fire that is within, the God that is within, that is enlivened. It's always there, but I have to breathe like you would breathe oxygen onto a fire. I have to breathe into that fire. And then it increases and I become a burning inferno. Like a fire on a hill, not beneath a bushel basket, being hidden. I don't have to say a word. I don't have to act like a guru or a teacher. We just can be ourselves, and yet the fire within us is so hot and so bright that people will come to you because they want that. They want to be near you because they feel inside you the very thing that they know to be themselves. Even if they don't know it consciously, they do know it because it's the only thing that can be known, truly. So I did this talk on Sri Nisargadatta, and one of the things that he says over and over is just sit in the I am. You don't need to do anything else. I was also watching some videos from Papaji, and he would say, there is no teacher, there is no teaching, there's no message. Just be still within the I am presence. We don't need to project that out as an image of something that our minds can relate to. You know, it's funny that usually when we do project out an idea of what the guru should look like or act like, and the Kumari movie is a great example of this, it's usually someone who is as different from us as possible. Have you noticed that? For the people there in Arizona where Kumari was, you know, they were typically just, you know, Westerners, Arizonians. And along comes this young guru from India. Oh, he's very different. He's saying all the right things. He's teaching us these things, these movements. The funny thing is the movements he was just making up in the moment. But they were being transformed by them because they believed. Because even though he was faking it, he was the biggest faker in the world, they accepted it. They believed that he was that. Now the only question is, what would happen if you believed you were that? You don't have to be different than you are now. You don't have to look different, act different, have a different accent. You don't have to be from India or a Native American or a Sufi. You don't need to be any of that. You just need to be the you that God loves. Because the you that God loves is all there is. It's the only you that exists. So when you hear a message like the one that we just shared, don't worry about who it's coming from. Don't give that any more or any less value. Whether it's coming from an idiot like me or from an Indian guru. It's the same message. It's the same fire. Trust the fire, not the messenger. So, Vicky, I'd love to hear what you think about this. I didn't check before. Are you out there, Vic and Teddy?
Oh, yes, Brother James, here we are.
Hi there.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
And thanks for doing such a beautiful job on Saturday at that integrated conference. And because, that was a great example of just Jimmy being the fire. And for all of us, what had occurred to me when you were reading part of that or talking about how Papaji or anyone says, just sit and be quiet. It isn't the being quiet or knowing all these techniques of meditation or mudras, mantras, and all the rest of it. It's a way to get out of the way. That's all. Whatever gets us out of the way and lets the truth dawn on us will be helpful. So people think you have to sit in the cave for hours and meditate when you really don't. You just have to I have to stop using my mind to interfere with the mind of fire, of light, of holiness that's already there. So what's a forgiving mind? You started with forgiveness. It's a forgiving mind that doesn't worry about anything. A forgiving mind says, well, if God's got this handled, I guess I'll just relax. But so, how you said, just like Kumari did, live it for one day, you guys, all of us. Just today. Be the Christ in your world, the light of the world, just for today. No matter what what anyone says or does, no matter what, hold on to it because that's all that is true. And if we don't interfere with that fact, which happens to be true, just like with Kumari, it'll start dawning on us, oh my God, I am this light, and there is a force of love that takes care of me. Find out. We're so busy analyzing. It's like in the world we think things are good or they're bad or they're moral or they're immoral or they're right or wrong. None of it's so. The only thing is, are things true or false? That's the only thing. Bodies are not true because they crumble up and fall away. The trees are lovely and beautiful, but they're not true either. They crumble up and fall away too. What's truth? The light, the energy that activates everything, that's behind everything, that animates us. Our soul, we call it. Who cares what we call it? It's like, call it Mickey Mouse. It doesn't matter. And that's all every experience brings us to. Moments when we've forgiven all the appearances of ourselves and everything. And all of a sudden, the light breaks through. That's what a holy instant is. That's what true forgiveness is. It's like, just don't worry about any of it. Pay it no mind. Don't pay attention to it. Only pay attention to what's true. And what's true will come into focus because it is already our will that only the truth be true. But no one can do it for us. We can witness other people seeming to experience that, and we can hold one another's hands. We can help one another stop getting in the way. But that's all that's ever happening. All of our thinking, all of it is worrying, planning, figuring, medicines, all of it. Just stop getting in our own way, because our own way is the one way of the light that we share, the light that we are, the love that is this light, and it joyfully is a fire that gives of itself. It's not so serious. It's very light. It's literally very light. And it's childlike, it's playful, because we have all been relieved of duty. All of us. You are relieved of duty of the care of this being. This body shall. You don't have to care for it. I don't? No, you don't have to care for a thing. Let me take care of it. Oh, that's great. Like, that's all this is. This is great news. When they were running around in Jesus' time saying, this is the good news, well, this is the good news. Let the love of God take care of everything by knowing I don't know how to take care of anything, forget everything. I'm going to find out and let you. And the biggest directions, rest and relax. Maybe rest and relax would have been better than telling people to go meditate in a cave. I don't know. Anyway, all you guys here, I love you all so much. I love you, Jimmy, Teddy. I just am so grateful that we've been really brought together as a family to help each other forget what we see, remember the truth that we are, and get out of the way together and play together and let God's love shine. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Vicky. You know, I've been actually convinced for years now that my guru is actually a dark-haired woman of Lebanese descent who has all the answers. And then there's also this New York guy of Italian descent who I like to listen to too. So Teddy, you can take it from here.
Jimmy, the whole time you were talking, all I could think of was the old man. And I traveled with the old man around.
The master teacher in Wisconsin, for those of you who don't know.
So I gotta tell us, we'd have like hundreds of people the first night, and they start to leave. I say, "Why are you guys leaving?" He says he talks about being quiet, but he never shuts up. So I put up on the foundation page, I put up 2 videos. One of the old man, it says the master, somebody titled it, The Master Teacher of A Course in Miracles, and one of David Hoffmeister, and his title called down The Master Teacher of A Course in Miracles. And they took down the old man's because he's no master teacher. And they left David's up. So you gotta laugh at this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it gets really simple. Oh, yesterday, I want to tell you a cool thing. So yesterday, you know, at the time when you started, they couldn't get the other video running for Aaron Abke. So everybody came to your thing. And at one point in time, Bill Free wrote, anybody who wants to go to Aaron Abke, it's open now. And one person left.
Oh no. Oh no.
So everybody stayed. It was really good.
Well,
you know, you keep it simple. That's it.
the truth is true. Once again,
Right.
that's all. That's all we need to know. And
Not experiencing truth and love right now, you're in denial of it. That's it.
yeah, that's it. So just, and when you realize you are the denial of it, just laugh and say, okay, so what? I can choose again. I can choose. I don't have to make this a complicated thing with movements, and those things are fine if that's what you want to do. It can be helpful, but it's not what's going to do it. What's going to do it is your decision to do it. What's going to allow it to occur within your mind is your decision to allow the blocks to fall away, because you're the one who put the blocks there, the blocks to the awareness of love. Therefore, only you can remove them. But they're like feathers. We look at them and we think they're so solid and so heavy, but they're really like feathers that we just go like this, they just blow away. And the truth of who we are, the truth that has always been true, is revealed. It really is that simple. We don't need an Indian guru to act in a certain way or to say certain things or to have a certain accent or anyone else. You don't need anyone. That's why I love Papaji. That's all he ever says. You don't need me. There's no real teacher outside your own mind. Just watch your thoughts. Take care of that flame that's with you. Care for that flame. Slowly put little bits of wood on it so that it catches and gets stronger. A little bit of wood may be just one little lesson that you've heard today, one line that really connected with you today. And let that grow hotter, and then you can put something a little bit bigger until finally you're putting big logs on this fire. And it's burning so that everyone can see and feel the heat. It's within each one of us. We just need to breathe life into it and know that it's there. So there you go. I don't know if Calico is out there or not, but I sure have been enjoying the stuff that Calico... Oh, she raises her hand right when I say that. Go ahead, Calico.
I don't have my computer. I'm on my phone today. And I just wanted to share this just happened this weekend. And Saturday, I went online and found what it was called. And my MacBook Pro had the black screen of death. That's what the Mac people call it. And it's an older computer. And I just the thought kept coming in, I should do something. And I kept thinking, oh, I don't even want to give it a thought right now. It's, I'm not interested in giving it a thought. I've got my phone, the computer's laying in the corner and it's okay. And that same day, a friend came by who we don't talk a lot, but we catch up periodically. And it was a catch-up day for us. And at some point, I told her about the black screen of death, laughing about it. I mean, just the words they use are perfect. And she said, well, how about if we go up to Tijuana, cross over the border, go to the Apple store in San Diego and pick you up a computer? Well, I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to walk across the border at Tijuana. And I mentioned that to her and she said, well, fine, give me an air ticket to Tijuana and I'll get it for you. Wow. And I was like, oh my God. And she sat there, she pulled out her computer. We ordered a computer online. It's going to be in San Diego tomorrow. She's flying up there. She's going to pick it up and bring it back down to me. I didn't have to give it even one thought. I mean, it's like, and it's being delivered by an angel. It's like it really is. The more I get this concept, it's to do less, not to do more, no matter who they are. Saying that you need to do more, do less, but have your focus on who you really are, which is the Christ. And in my Christness, that came out. I'm clear that whole thing was orchestrated through my Christness, not through anything I did. And so, I just keep getting new and deeper lessons of this. Let it go. Don't do anything. Pause. Take to bed with God, go into prayer, sit with the I am, just don't do anything. Give me a chance here. I can hear my Christ self. Could you give me a chance and just sit down? So I just had to share that. Just miracles are happening all over the place. And it's the less I do, the more miracles seem to be happening. So thank you. I love you guys.
What a great example. We just get out of our own way and trust that everything is going to be taken care of perfectly if we just rest in the stillness of our Christhood, our I am, whatever you want to call it. We know what it is. You cannot not know. Even ones who are more caught in the density of their imaginary separation, even they really know deep down what this is, because it's the only thing that's true. And all of you really know. Just the fact that you're sitting here means you are ready. You're ready to do this. There's nothing else you need. You don't need to find another guru. You don't need to find another teaching. You just need to rest in God and know that everything is being perfectly handled, perfectly orchestrated for you to look and see yourself as God sees you. And in doing so, to see everyone else in the same way. It's a very simple teaching. So there you have it. That's how we start off our Mondays here at Namaste Village. Thank Thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful. You know, yesterday, I think it was it Vicky that was sharing just, or was it Johannes sharing her just joy of being in this family? And I just want to reiterate that. I am just so grateful to each and every single one of us for giving us all the opportunity to activate this. We activate it by sharing it, by giving it away. You know, my opportunity to share whatever comes into my mind here reveals what's in my mind, reveals what's within me all the time. So thank you for that. And that being said, why don't we go ahead? Oh, well, let's do some prayers first. Let's maybe focus our minds before we do our prayer of protection. And we know that anyone who is hurting, is in need, we know that through the brilliance of this consciousness, all is well, and all manner of things are well. But we allow them to rise in our consciousness so that we can share this wellness with them, to know that they are healed now because this is what they desire. So if there's anyone that you want to lay upon this holy fire, go ahead and say their name out loud by unmuting, and we'll just say a few names now.
Holly,
Chris, Linda, Jen,
Jackie and her family.
Clara,
Pam,
me,
Lisa,
Leslie,
Mark,
Tyler,
Michael,
and Evan.
David,
Nikki,
Teddy,
Lawrence,
George, Nancy,
Rod,
Dana,
Summer,
Annie,
Greg and Dan.
Avis,
Diane,
Karen,
Lindsay,
So we lay all of these beloved family members, extensions of the love and the loveliness of God, upon this holy fire, knowing, fully confident, that the healing is complete within them all. No matter what, no matter how it looks, we know that God's love is active and fulfilling every need. And we say together, and so it is. Okay, now we'll do our prayer of protection as we claim this holy truth. Here we go. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I'll be here tomorrow, but then I'll be traveling for a few days, and I'll be in and out while I'm up in Minnesota and Tennessee. So have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
happy Monday.
Love you all.